Now, South Africans are known for their discerning tastes when it comes to food and drink. That is, you can definitely expect that. Now, you're wondering why we're going with this, right? Well, there are chefs who are known for their ability to pair food with cognac. And we are joined by a well-respected alcohol distributor to tell us more, of course, about such a pairing. His name is Masubelele. He's with us in studio. Also with us is Siya Cele from Cognac Leyrat, as well as Chef Lolly Magwentshu, who is bringing South African dishes with her. And they are right here in front of us. Firstly, warm welcome to the three of you. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you for bringing what we are seeing on our table, of course. Oscar, I'm going to start off with you, right? Just talk to us about why we're here and what we're looking at and what people may not know about food pairing.
Thank you. 7,000 years ago, when people started making alcohol, they made alcohol to be paired with food. So in most cases, what I've seen in my experience in the industry is that we enjoying alcohol incorrect, especially in South Africa. Alcohol is not about drinking, it's about experience. So what we're doing as Palatine beverages is introduce what the Europeans have been doing for many years, what we call alcohol gastronomy.
Okay.
So we have wine gastronomy, we have champagne gastronomy, we have cognac gastronomy. So today what we're doing here, we're having an African-themed cognac gastronomy. I think this is the first ever to happen in South Africa, where our chef paired all the three dishes, South African dishes with cognac. So the chef and Siya from our brand ambassador will explain how the pairing went. And yeah, we can enjoy ourselves this morning with Cognac Leyrat.
Siya, it's my money. I can do with my money what I want. Yes, I know the history. 7,000 years ago, when initially alcohol was being made, it was made with the purpose of pairing it with food. But now, as you know, Oscar's saying that we're doing it wrong. But then someone says to you, but so if I want to drink my cognac, however expensive it may be, and I want to namanzi, I can do that if I want to because it is my money. But just talk to someone with that kind of ignorance. Talk to somebody who speaks like that, who may not understand the craftsmanship. Because it's not just, you're not pouring just liquid into a bottle. This is craftsmanship. This is something that has been made with dedication, and was made with understanding of what it is they are making. Talk to somebody with that kind of ignorance, why it's important to consume this the right way, and what the right way is.
Yeah, like you were saying, there's no right or wrong way to do it. But we have to emphasize, this is a single estate cognac. So what does that mean? That everything has been done in one estate. This cognac has been done at the Finpoa region. It is known for its fertile soil. The grapes get maximum exposure to the sun. So you will taste that this cognac, it's like the master blender was like an artist trying to paint a picture to the consumer's palate. So you'll taste every flavor because they were deliberate. There's about 60 well-skilled workers who work behind this Cognac Leyrat to produce the finest quality of a single estate cognac. So I don't want to talk anymore, but
to the food.
let the chef tell us what she did, and then I will take you through the tasting, noting some of the flavors that we can look out for.
Chef Lolly, you're given a bottle of cognac, a very premium bottle of cognac, and you are tasked with pairing it perfectly. Just talk to us about the process behind pairing with specifically Cognac Leyrat and why you chose these foods.
Okay, good morning. So here we have a starter, a main, and a dessert. For our starter, I wanted to bring out the sweetness in the bottle that we paired it with. So we have a lamb ragu parcel and a phyllo pastry. And we finished the sauce off with the cognac. So once the ragu was ready, we threw some of the cognac in, and you should be able to taste the contrast between the lamb sauce as well as the cognac. For our mains, we have mhodu or lusu with some sampan beans and then salsa in the salsa, we used the cognac to kind of bring it all together so we can break the thickness of ulusu, the taste. So we have that salsa to kind of break it through on the contrast. Yeah, sorry. Then for our dessert, we have a pistachio cake with white chocolate ganache. And in the ganache, we used our cognac to kind of pair it all together. The cake is kind of delicate, so you wanted to highlight the cognac more than anything. And the food is just making it go down a little smoother.
Now, I want to find out from you, Chef Lolly, why Le Cordon Bleu? You know, and that is for those that may not know, Le Cordon Bleu is an institute in Paris, of course, who are known for their alcoholic beverages as well as their food. But why that institute, and what is it that you've brought from that institute, you know, that you put in your craft?
I'd say I love the discipline and the prestigeness of the school. So to get things right, you really have to pay attention to the finer details with what you put in, from how much salt you have to what you want to balance it with, sugar or whatever choice you have. So I love the school because it was really a wholesome and worldly view of looking at how we eat our food. So, yeah.
I don't want to have all this fun by myself, so I'm going to involve Faith Maope, who is sitting there salivating. Her mouth is actually dripping right now, wondering why is he now enjoying all of this by himself. In fact, even the smell of the cognac, it's so potent and powerful, which, I mean, I'm not, I drink my alcohol, I don't necessarily understand its art, but that for me speaks to, if I may just quickly, Siya, that for me speaks to just, you know, the quality of it. If I could smell it from the table, by the way, that speaks to the quality of it, doesn't it?
Definitely. So we have to emphasize it's a single estate cognac, so everything is about flavor. Let me pour you one and let it speak for itself.
Of course.
Yeah. This is a VS. We all know when you get the letter VS, it gives you an indication that the youngest barrel has been matured for not less than 2 years. So we're going to pour you one. Now, remember, cognac one, it's a time drink. That's why we had to pour it way in advance so that those aromas are released in the studio.
That explains why I could pick it up from the table.
Yeah. Now, here's the interesting part. Now, most cognacs, all the cognacs that you find are blends. And for the first time, we have this single estate. As you can see, the colors, the VS is very, very clear. Now, in most cases, other cognacs, they would use what we call caramel coloring to make their VS darker because they know perceptually people think the darker the better. However, with ours, straight from the barrel, the purest form of, if you're a purist, this is a cognac for you. So,
all right, now I want to then bring back Chef Lolly. What do I pair this with? How do I start it?
You'll be pairing it with the lamb ragu parcels.
Fantastic. All right, so I'm going to take this to Faith Maope, because I don't want to leave her out. It's very unfair to be leaving her out of the party, because she certainly does love her food. And yes, she definitely does love her food. And now we're trying to educate Faith, right, in pairing her food with her alcohol.
Did you just bring me food?
I did.
I'm so happy.
I did.
I am the happiest. So, ooh, Chef Lolly, you did a thing there, girl. This is the favorite part about it.
Yeah.
The eat. Can I just like hold it with my hand? Yeah, because I mean, you get to hold this. Hold on to this.
No, of course I can do that.
You can hold on to this, and
Can
I'm
I
going to try.
also hold
so
on to the cognac?
How do I? No, put that down. How do we? So you just have a bite, and then you.
just have a bite. Take it throughout your palate. And then enjoy those flavors. Give it about 5 seconds around your mouth. And then you take the glass.
So good. Okay.
You see, look at the glass, see the
I
color.
love my job. I love my job.
I see what he's actually talking about.
Okay, so how do I hold
And
this?
have a first sip. The Cognac Leyrat is rich in flavor, and the flavors we try not to swell the glass because the flavors are layered in a beautiful manner that you'll pick up the younger years. She used lamb, so you'll pick up those notes which relate to the lamb that she made.
So we just have
So
like a
if-
little sip with the.
Yeah, take a sip.
It's got some sweetness.
Beautiful.
Ah, voila. I will never be the same again.
Now, there will
This
be
is lovely.
we say when you taste, you have to contrast or accentuate. So with that dish, there's a contrast of the sweetness and the spiciness of the lamb,
Have you tasted
which works
this?
together.
This is so good. This is the meal of the gods, so as it were.
Now, I want to come back to you again, Chef Lolly. Can you pair, of course, with the VS, any of the other dishes that you put there, like so ulusu and samp as well as your cake as well, or each dish comes with each of its kind of cognac?
Each dish comes with its kind of cognac, so the younger thing you'd want to pair it off with a heavier type of dish. So as we go through the years, you kind of heavy, medium, and then light, and it's interchanging between the ages of the cognac.
Now, I was actually speaking to Faith about this, talking about the percentage. You know, a lot of people that drink their alcohol, I would say recklessly sometimes, also look at, the higher the percentage, the more potent it may be. What goes into the determination of what percentage of spirit you have, especially cognac? Some may come in 43%, but the Cognac Leyrat comes in 40%. What dictates that?
It's regulations that have been placed to safeguard the cognac spirit. So there has to be, like for instance, a minimum of 2-year maturation. That has to be done. If it's not, if it's less than 2 years, then it's no longer a cognac. The minimum of 40%, so the alcohol content can be higher, but it shouldn't be lower than 40% to keep it a cognac. So there are regulations that safeguard specific liquid made. For instance, an equivalent of cognac in South Africa is a pot still brandy. The minimum alcohol body volume is 38%. According to South African regulations. So there are different regulations that safeguard that authentic spirit of that particular region.
I'm going to give this to you so that you can take it back to them so that I can... No, actually, leave it here. I'm going to try the next part, the next phase, Oscar, with Chef Lolly, the mains with the other part of the cognac. And Oscar, I'm going to ask you this one. Because from what it seems like, and the way that you've presented this so beautifully, is that we take away from the experience, right? It's an experience. It's the experience of food and drink, right? And a lot of times we take for granted the experience that this comes with, that it's not just about you gulping it down and getting drunk and that's it. It's actually about the experience of food and the experience of this beautiful cognac. And how many of us are actually tuned to the experience behind food?
See, like I said in my narrative, that the idea of consuming alcohol is to stay with food. You know, I always say to my clients, rather enjoy a bottle of cognac.
It looks like, unfortunately, your microphone is not working, I ask her, but just maybe if we can try that again. I don't know if it's audible now. Our technical director will let us know. You can continue.
Like I said earlier on, that, alcohol is best paired with food.
100%.
And I always tell my clients when they come to us to buy, Cognac Leyrat, we always advise them that, you don't have to drink it as is. I'm an advocate of, people not mixing alcohol beverages with sugar.
Oscar, I really do deeply apologize. It looks as though there's something that happened with our microphone, but I think more than anything else, Siya, you could be able to expound this for us, because as I said, it's about I'm enjoying the experience by you guys just being here, but just talk to us a little bit about the experience of food pairing and just, because I feel like we've been doing it wrong as a citizenship. We've been doing it wrong. Yeah. I think it might just be working now. Go ahead, Oscar.
All right. So what I was saying is that food pairing, alcohol and food pairing, alcohol goes hand in hand with food.
Yeah.
And our passion at Bali10 is to educate our customers, especially those that buy our brands, not only to consume our brands with other, other sugary drinks or other drinks, but to pair them with food. Drinking alcohol, especially, what I refer to as, a luxury. This is a luxury cognac. It's not your normal blended cognac that you find in the store. So it's something that you can have over dinner, over lunch,
Yeah.
even over breakfast.
Yeah.
And you have to pair it with food. So as Chef Lolly has, has indicated, there's 3 varieties that you can use to pair our cognac with.
Yeah.
So, but it's important. And not only for the experience, for health issues as well.
Well, you know what we're going to do also? Morena, if I may, we're going to also try to get this microphone fixed a little bit because it seems as though we had it. Yeah, so that microphone did not work a little bit there. But this has been absolutely beautiful to witness. We're going to continue to eat and we're going to continue to talk.
Still chewing.
As I'm still chewing and trying to get the cognac and everything else in my mouth. It really has been. I think more than anything else, it's an educational moment where we can see that actually, we've been doing it wrong for a very long time. And about food and drink, it's actually about the experience of food and beverage. And not just about drinking to get drunk or drinking just to... There's actually a whole experience that we're missing out on as a citizenship. So I think it's beautiful that we're able to illustrate this so wonderfully this morning.
It's also important to just remind you of what Oscar Masubelele had said, is that this is something that dates back 7,000 years, that essentially when alcohol was introduced to humankind, it was done so with the idea to pair it with really good food. So when you are out there, yes, it is your money. It is what you can do with it, whatever you want. You don't have to pour a glass of Cognac Leyrat and drink it with, of course, a beautiful dish as what Chef Lolly has put on the table. But, if you really want to understand and appreciate the art and the beauty and the amazing taste and aromas of what it is we are having the privilege of doing so with, try it the way the people that know have advised you to do. So thank you very much, of course, to our guest for the knowledge and, most importantly, Chef Lolly, for the amazing food.